So what I'm trying to show with my work in a very sort of organic way is that there's different levels to reality. My pieces actually, for me, start out with some very concrete imagery usually.
What is human nature? What does it mean to connect to something greater than ourselves? So then you have to ask yourself, what is greater than us?
But as I start to complete or finish a piece, stuff starts to come through of where this might be going in terms of sort of a symbology and a story about each piece, because each piece of artwork has a story, whether it's my artwork or anybody else's, all has a story.
Lou's art is entirely about touching that greater something.
Somebody comes in and views this piece, they should be able to take a look at the whole piece.
What is the artist trying to tell us? Maybe there's a hint in one of the titles.
First of all, your name and your title.
My name is Preston Metcalf. I'm the chief curator at the Triton Museum of Art.
Okay, and what has it meant so far to have this type of a display in Triton?
You know, it's always a challenge whenever we put on an exhibition of abstract art. People tend to think it's the emperor's new clothes, that we're somehow trying to pull one over on them. Or maybe they don't take it beyond the surface level of interesting shapes and trippy colors. Well, that's what makes this exhibition so special. Lou's art is not about the shape, it's not about the color, it's entirely about the idea. With this work, Diamond Head, it's got such a strong, visceral feel about it. Now, a big part of that is because of the bold, dynamic colors. You've got these very brilliant oranges and reds cast against these deep, intense blues. It vibrates. You can't help but feel the energy of the piece.
So on these pieces, the title is Razzle Dazzle 1 and Razzle Dazzle Deuce. Okay, just because they're obviously have a lot of energy in them, and there's a sort of dance-like quality to it.
What do you think of what you did and your inspiration?
Well, you know, once I've got a piece done, it sort of exists on its own. So it's almost as if someone, there's something else that worked through me. So it's very, when I'm actually painting in the flow, and I can say that of any of my pieces for the most part, there's a sort of a quality where I definitely am not thinking, I'm just in the flow and doing.
How would you describe it to somebody that's completely not into this type of art, on not only what's it about, but how could they learn more about it without having to read a million pages in a book?
Right, actually that's a really good question. What I say about art is, you know, even if people, and most people prefer more realistic or representational art, which is fine. We all start with that, except when we're kids. When we're kids, we can be drawing and painting, and it doesn't matter if the horse is blue or if the perspective is different. It doesn't matter. At a certain point, though, people want to do representational work. I will say this, though. Any painting you take your most realistic painting, you put a piece of tracing paper down, trace out the shapes, take the shapes away, look at it, and it'll be abstract. So in a certain sense, everything's an abstract representation of reality.
So we can look at these works, we can attempt to understand them, but more important than that, we have to feel them. That's what elevates work such as this by Lou into something that's more than just shapes and more than just colors. This is true abstract art.